Very good morning to all of our viewers. This is BNSN now with me, Cheryl D'Souza. Along with me, I have Shrishti Sharma, and surprise, today we have Vinnii Motiwala also joining us on the show. And yes, and the reason why Vinnii is joining us, the reason is on the bottom of your screen. Nestle India coming out with its Q3 numbers. And there is a surprise element. They've gone ahead with the stock split. Did we know about that?
So no, they had made an announcement that they will be discussing this stock split as well. Now the stock split ratio is in the ratio of 1:10. So yes, that was a bit of an expectation that we had because they had said that they would be discussing that. So that is what the stock split is, right? But numbers, when you look at it, you could say a bit of a mixed number because revenue, a slight miss, very marginal miss coming in, but we could say almost in line to a marginal miss for revenue. 9.4% is what the revenue growth came in at. Volume growth, the inferred number that is coming in, they don't come out with a number, that is at around 3 to 4% volume growth. We are expecting around 5%. So volume growth also almost in line. Pricing growth is expected at around that 6 to 7%. So yes, volume growth is expected at around 3 to 4% is the inferred number that we are picking out as of now as well. Other than that, when you look at it in terms of margins, strong expansion that we've seen in terms of margins, and what is aiding the margins as well, that commodity costs have come off. So that is why that is supporting the margins, EBITDA margins of the company as well. Coffee and milk prices, yes, even the management is highlighting that that is still something that is on the higher end in terms of the commodities, and that has still remained volatile. So that is going to be a factor to watch out for going forward as well as of now. But other than that, when you look at it in terms of, because of the uneven rain, the maize prices had gone up, sugar prices, oilseed prices, that was something that adversely impacted the pricing of the company. But that is something that they are keeping an eye out on. All in all, they've seen strong growth coming in, whether for a Kit Kat, whether for a Munch. Even in terms of their milk nutrition products, also they've seen a double-digit growth over there as well. So all in all, the performance has been a decent performance coming in from Nestle. Volume growth is what we are watching out for. Profits had one of the numbers that came in was an exceptional gain of 106 crores, which was a reversal from last time. So because of that, we're seeing a bit of an inflated profit, and the profits have seen almost a 37% growth on a year-on-year basis as well. So all in all, a decent set of numbers, good set of numbers that have come in from the company, especially in terms of the profits and margins of the company. And volume growth also almost in line, 3 to 4% versus a 5% expectation, what we had, Cheryl. So all in all, good number. Dividend announced of 140 rupees per share as well. That's by Nestle, but I believe we will be connecting with some of the analysts as well, Cheryl. So that is something that, we'll get more details in terms of how is it looking like to the street as well as analysts. But as of now, Nestle is holding on to gains of 1.4% as well. Okay, we do have Preeyam Tolia joining in with us from Axis as well. And Preeyam, very good morning. How is Nestle looking to you on the first cut, and what is the volume growth, the number that you are looking at as of now?
Yeah, I think so the overall numbers seems pretty strong, so which is in line with our estimates. What we anticipated was a volume growth of 4 to 5%, mostly in a mid-sec kind of a single-digit volume growth. So we expect that the volume growth would be more or less in line with that number, as the top-line growth has been in line. Slightly lower than our estimate, but overall good set of numbers, especially on the margins front. So what has worked, if you see why Nestle is delivering such a strong numbers compared to other peers, is that it is working. And what it has worked is new product development. So the new launches which companies has done in the last few years is working for them. Also, their expansion into smaller towns, right? So most of the FMCG companies are highlighting that the rural is seeing a pain, right? But this Nestle is expanding into smaller towns. So the growth is also led by this kind of activities for the company.
Okay, right. Also, Preeyam, if you could give us an indication in terms of the milk and nutrition segment as well. As of now, what the company is highlighting that they are seeing a decent growth over there as well. But, the milk prices were on the higher end. So how are you inferring this number? Is that we could see an impact coming in on Q3 for Nestle for the next quarter, I beg your pardon, Q4 for Nestle then?
Yeah, so we'll have to see what management speak on that on the raw material price front. But however, if you see milk and the milk product portfolio, the second half is more important, right? Because it is driven by the festive season. So we expect that the company is likely to deliver again on the milk and milk portfolio on a strong front on second half. So we don't expect much impact over there. But let's see what management says on the conference on the analyst meet, which is they are conducting in the next week.
Preeyam, lastly, we have two more companies to go in the FMCG pack, HUL as well as ITC. What are you expecting in terms of that? Nestle is a thumbs up from you. Should we expect good numbers from HUL and ITC?
So we expect a moderate performance for both the companies due to especially the slowdown in the overall demand, particularly for the HUL. However, for the ITC, we expect the cigarettes are likely to outperform the other business segments. Also, the hotel business are likely to go both strong and FMCG. Only for the ITC will be the impact will be from the agri business and the paperboard business. The rest we expect a decent set of performance for the ITC.
All right then, Preeyam, thank you so much for joining us on ET Now to give your take on the Nestle numbers and how they were, and also talking about HUL as well as ITC, because those two numbers are yet to come out. But thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. And Vinnii, yes, like you said, the analysts had an inferred volume growth of about 3 to 4%. We estimated 5%. And you can see the reaction on the stock price. Actually, I'll request Abhishek to show the line graph of Nestle. Right now, it's given up all of its gain. In fact, it is nudging towards the negative territory. There you go. The stock has actually slipped into the negative territory. It is the volume growth that has not surprised the street.
Yeah, maybe because we were expecting that's a bit of a subduedness on that front, and given up from 1% gains is absolutely in the negative territory. In 5 minutes is something to watch out for as well.
Absolutely.
Vinnii, before you go, any volume growth guidance or estimates for HUL and ITC?
So yes, for HUL, we are expecting similar to last quarter, 3 to 4% is volume growth that HUL normally reports. We're expecting on those lines. While for ITC, it's expected at around 6% volume growth. Cigarette volume growth is what we talk about. So that's the number that we're expecting for volume growth for those two companies as well.
Okay, so believe that those are the key numbers to watch out for from the FMCG space. But with this, viewers, we will thank you, Vinnii, for joining us today and discussing about the Nestle earnings as well as the other FMCG earnings candidate in focus today. And with this, we are slipping into a very short break in this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and then it's the time to take all your stock related queries, so stay tuned.